Hello and welcome. I pray the Lord would bless you and speak forth through my mouth. Let your words, Lord, be heard and not mine. So how can we have a vision or a dream from the Lord and it seem like it was totally false and it was not accurate at all and that was not from the Lord when it really was? How does that actually happen? Well, quick and simple answer. Um, I'm going to read in Deuteronomy 18:22. When a prophet speaketh, when a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord has not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously. Thou shalt not be afraid of him. And a lot of times we can have a dream or a vision from the Lord and automatically think it means something totally different than what the Lord is talking to us about. One thing that happened to me a long time ago, and this is more of a teaching, and I had a dream about this one lady, and then she had this black man that was moving in with her. She was married to someone else. They were separated. So the thing was kind of a little bit alarming at first. It's like, why does she have a black man living in her house? And I'm like, okay, let's just kind of take it a little step at a time here. I'm not going to try to jump too much into this. But I just started asking her simple questions, kind of pounding around because I didn't really fully understand everything that I understood now. So I'm kind of going around, and eventually, you know what I learned? She had a black cat. She basically had a new pet in her house. It was a black cat. And so when I was seeing a black man, that black man was actually a representative of her getting a black cat. And so I could be very presumptuous and say, hey, why are you having a black man living in your house? Moving in with you, It's like, you shouldn't be doing this. And I could have gone off and all that stuff. And that dream could have been like, making me seem like I'm a loony if I didn't fully understand what the Lord was showing me. But that was also a teaching lesson at that time, too. And that's why we don't often have to give understanding to everything that we see and every dream that we have. We don't always have to give every understanding of everything. David, he had a dream in the last of his chapter. He didn't understand it all. Okay? He spoke what he saw. And oftentimes, that's what prophets got to do. They got to speak what they see. They'll give maybe some understanding of what they have. They may not fully understand everything. And I think a lot of times, when people have a dream or a vision, they say, oh, you gotta, being a prophet of God, you must have to know everything about that dream and every single detail. No, you don't. You don't have to know. And even if you're not a prophet, you don't have to know everything about that dream. You don't have to know everything about that vision. I remember having a dream once about, hadn't met the person yet. I had a dream about the person, and I knew this dream was from the Lord, but I was like, Lord, why are we spending so much time in the art gallery, if you will? And he was like, and this is like years later after I'm not even friends with her anymore. And the Lord just kind of showed me, it's because you guys were watching anime all the time. And so what is anime? It's drawing, art. They're drawing the art. And so, yeah, you could automatically say, it's like, okay, so you're going to meet this friend and you're going to spend all your time in the art gallery. It sounds kind of silly when in reality, no, we were just going to her house watching anime. And so we can also, a lot of times, presume things that are not correct. And so sometimes that's when you gotta sit on things and say, get things from the Lord. Say, Lord, what do you want to call this thing? What is this about? You know? And that's what he's trying to do with us. He speaks in riddles a lot of times with us. You know, Moses, he spoke face to face, but he said with the prophets, I'll give him with dreams and visions, and I'll speak in riddles. So when God's speaking in riddles, we got to make sure we have the full understanding of what that riddle is that God's speaking to us about. And so when we misunderstand what that riddle or how that parable, Jesus spoke in parables, and the disciples didn't even understand all the parables that he was talking about. They had to go to him to get the full understanding. All right? And so, it's the glory of God, I believe it is, to conceal a matter, but is the honor of a king or something to that effect to search out a matter. All right? You kings, queens, princesses, princes, you're joint heirs with Christ. Search out a matter. That's your honor, if you will. That's what God's called you to do, So don't always be presumptuous about things. Seek out the answers. Understand the fullness of the riddle that the Lord has placed before you. God bless you. Amen.